What up? This is dandefi. We're back for another quick video. So we've been covering the Metaverse, the Multiverse, the constellation, the different words that if people are saying for what's coming for our VR and AR and VR and AR together and physical products connected to digital products. We know, right? We've been talking about it on this channel. I just want you guys to see this is the vision that Lehman Baird has been talking about and envisioning for Hedera. And this is why this is important. All right, we're going to watch this.
Now, and I know a lot of folks have been eagerly waiting to hear from
He's explaining
Lehman,
what's worlds, what shared worlds is, why Hedera is making the changes, why they're going to open source. This right here, guys, is it. This is it. This is the beginning of what everything we know as a metaverse. This is where the changes are going to accelerate in our digital world, and everybody's going to see the changes online. I think this is the day. In a couple of years, we'll look back at this video and be like, "Yep, it started this day," because this is just how I feel about what Dr. Lehman says and the vision that he sees.
With that, I will pass it over to Lehman to talk about his vision and a deep dive into shared worlds.
Well, thanks, Zenobia. And I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited for all of you to be listening. I appreciate you joining us because we are going to talk about the next step on our journey. Our journey so far has been exciting. We have seen a lot happen. And now we are at the next step where we can start really doing the shared worlds that we've been talking about. We have had a vision from the beginning, the official vision.
A vision to enable shared worlds where anyone can gather, collaborate, and conduct commerce and control their own online footprint.
Of Hedera has been a vision to enable shared worlds.
We've said, we've known Hedera was going to grow into this, guys.
Commerce and control their own online footprint.
This stuff is just crazy.
This has been from the beginning. And we are at an exciting stage now.
And it's happening right before our fucking faces.
Done before. This is what I want to talk to you about. So what does that actually mean? So you're a person, you're some user, you want to be able to create things, ideas, information, products or objects or markets. You want to be able to have trust in what you're creating and give other people the ability to truly trust what you're creating. And you want to be able to transfer things. You want to be able to broadcast to everyone something if you want to broadcast it. You want to be able to transfer it to just one person with payments. You want to be able to do all these things.
Yep, all these different
things. And you want it to be easy and seamless and invisible in many cases. You just want the ability to work in the infosphere and control things and create things. So what do? You just kind of wave your hand and carve out a chunk of cyberspace where your information is, a document or something. And really, it's just on your hard drive. But then you want to be able to instantly invite friends. And so then they join. And now maybe automatically the software is downloaded to their computers, which is open source, so they're able to do that without asking permission. They just did it. And now the three of you, say, are all in a shared world. You have a hashgraph ledger, and you are all contributing to it in real time, reaching consensus just with each other, where you are creating documents or playing games
This is nuts.
Or starting to build something bigger.
This is the future of everything.
It all has this fairness of consensus. It's all extremely fast. It's private and encrypted between you.
So it's
and
like,
the three of you have just created a shared world. And all it is information sitting on your laptops, on the three laptops of you, or the three desktops, or your phones, or whatever.
Whatever software, right.
They can even invite more people, and so it can grow. And you can have rules that are enforced by the ledger itself. Rules that say there is one king that controls everything, or rules that say there is no king who controls everything, that the group as a whole, anyone can invite more people, or maybe the group as a whole have to vote on any new people coming in. Whatever. You set up the rules at the beginning. It's in the code, and then it's controlled that way. And then together you can build things that will be having these rules enforced. It's just like a mini Hedera. You can build your own little shared world using the same code base as Hedera. And then you can have these worlds. They can be something like a game. They can be something like cooperatively building engines for an aircraft. But they can also be things like a market. You can create markets together. You can create a stock market or some kind of a financial institution, DeFi, or all these sorts of different things. once you've created this, you have this shared world.
Endless.
You are not alone. Your shared world is in an infinite universe
Right.
of other shared worlds. And you'll notice Hedera's there in the upper right corner. That's one of the shared worlds is Hedera, a gigantic public ledger that everyone trusts because of the council and because of its nature. But you also have all these little shared worlds. And maybe some of them are totally private and only a certain group of people can be in it and they're just interacting together. Maybe some of them are actually public services that the whole world can get into, but a few people are running it.
Interesting.
And then the important thing is
Definitely.
they're all connected to each other.
Definitely.
Information you've created in one can be used in another. Things of
The future,
value
guys. This
created in
is
one
the
can be
future of
used in
how
another.
cities
Many of
will
them connect to Hedera.
function.
So if you want to have tokens and tokenize information you're creating, or have tokens that you're trading and it's a market for tokens or an auction for tokens.
Right. For city
And
services, for
Can
everything.
be minted on Hedera, and you just access it through the token service, or you access it through the smart contract service. It lets you do interesting things with those tokens. Or maybe your little shared world, your game that you're playing, has a state, and you're periodically taking that state and putting a hash of it through Hedera, through the consensus.
Oh, just give me 1 second, everybody. Just give me 1 second. Okay.
Service to record it for eternity and immutably. You can do all sorts of things like this using the consensus service from Hedera, using the token service and the smart contract service. You might even have a little shared world you've created that's using Hashgraph, it's using our code base for free because it's open source, and you're providing a service to the world. And you might decide to allow people to pay for that service with HBARs, which are going to come from Hedera. And so you get this whole ecosystem. You can do things absolutely without Hedera, entirely on your own. Or you have this very easy way to connect to Hedera and use Hedera to give you the power. It's entirely up to you. You can do the equivalent of L2, layer 2 things from other ledgers. You can do that.
I'm sorry, guys. There's just a lot happening right now in this room.
AppNets are using the consensus service to do all of your consensus, but you have other forms of things that you're doing in your group. All of these things are possible. Then there can even be further services that Swirls would offer where you can help remember your state for you. All sorts of things become possible. And it's all open source. It's everyone's doing this on their own. The ecosystem is just exploding exponentially, and you have control. That's what this is about. And everybody's interrelated. And we're all being able to talk to each other. And one player in that
this is how
market
things
is
should
Hedera,
function.
which is fast, fair, and secure. And everyone can talk to Hedera.
So this is what we need, basically.
We can use
I mean,
with each other,
the USDC could be built
state-proof
just
code
open
is part of
source.
the
I mean,
source
open
code
source
base.
on there.
And
We
so
could
you have
literally
someone
build
talk
the
to each other with
USDC.
state proofs
So,
that are being able
and
to
what needs to
prove that
happen
what
for
you're
the
doing is
USD
truly the
economy?
consensus of your shared world, of your swirl. And so Swirls is going to be involved in all of that. So this is what we're talking about. Now, how does that interrelate
The
with
Metaverse on
What is
Hedera.
Metaverse? Well, everybody has a different definition of what the Metaverse is. But the Metaverse, I would say, is VR, virtual reality, on top of some shared information, some shared world
Right.
that you are building on top of. And so
Because one layer
you
has to be
have that
trust.
VR interface.
Right.
to
One
all
layer
this
is trust. So
information that
Hedera's
you're
the
uploading on your
trust
shared
layer.
world. You could have a little swirl. and
I'm
you could
sorry
be
if you
doing
guys hear the
collaborative
coughing in
information
the
and have VR
background.
and let you all see it in that. It's especially good for games. But it's also for things like a bunch of engineers around
Right.
the world jointly building
There's a lot
aircraft
more than
engines
just being
and
the trust
wings and
layer,
the
but
body to design an aircraft. Hey, that can be VR. That can be a metaverse thing. And you can have all of these interrelating, and so you can have one three-dimensional universe you see that when you walk through a door, you're actually moving from one shared world to a different shared world, from one little network to a different little network, one swirl to another, all based on Hashgraph if you want. And it can interoperate with non-Hashgraph things too. So we as a humanity have a choice to make. What does this metaverse end up looking like? And there's really two directions we can go. We can have a metaverse that is a single centralized company, where that single centralized company is controlling everything.
Ooh, I
All
wonder
of the
who they're
data
talking
is
about.
on top of it, and everybody who is going to participate in the metaverse
Good job,
has
Lehman.
to come through the door to that
Good job,
one
Mr.
company,
Lehman.
which of course will be advertising controlled and will spy on you so that the advertising goes better. And we can do that. We can, as humanity, go to that kind of a view of a metaverse. Or we can go to a view of a metaverse where we are a million shared worlds. Each little world that is shared by lots of people or by a few people. And then they interconnect with each other. And the metaverse allows you
Own
just to
your
seamlessly go
data
from one to the other.
privacy.
Just like the World Wide Web is
Right.
now. It's even better.
This is
because
where
it's
we're
a simple
going
web
with
page
everything,
controlled by
but
one
if we
person,
go the right
shared
way
world
with
is
it,
shared between a
if we
group of
choose
people
Hedera
controlling it,
and
and
not
the rules
the evil.
are all enforced. And so this is the kind of future that we can be looking at. Shared worlds, and it isn't just Hashgraph shared worlds, it could be other shared worlds too will come along. We can have standards for
Someone needs to build
communication,
that.
starting with state proofs, and other people can come along and do those too. They can come along and use these standards. And so this allows us then to have the better vision here. And I talked about standards. As going down this road, going with the open source, going with the standards for
Standardization, okay.
we can start driving standards. We can be part of standards organizations so that these are open standards with open source libraries controlling how do we all talk to each other. And we can have a world where we're all talking to each other through these things. We can have a world where instead of people spying on you with advertising, we just use micropayments to pay for things. We can have standards for how you pay for things with micropayments. And that works great.
So he's really just setting it up so Hedera, you can build whatever you want
that's the
on
transaction
Hedera.
fee is 100%.
Literally.
We can have that.
And use
We
it
can
for the
interoperate with
layer
other people if they become
digital
cheap as well.
trust.
So we can have standards for micropayments.
I mean, this is just, you guys, this is literally, I mean, this is where we are as a place in society that this is going to need to happen pretty soon, digitally, with everything with people being hungry. And I mean, there's just a lot you could do with this, not only government wise, but I'm talking gaming across every genre of our life. Hedera could unify. I mean, it could be one system. It could be literally the whole system. This is really like, to me, it feels like he's like James Halliday, like, whoa, the Oasis. You know, it's like
social. If you have a social medium where, say, you always send out short messages of a few hundred characters, this could be a standard that can work on these shared worlds, and you can have different shared worlds managing it. It doesn't have to all be one central company controlling it. Or if you have a standard where you can have information on your wall and people can put in shared worlds. We can have even these different types of social media unified into single standards that can make them all interoperable with each other, even email and other things. And we can have other standards for things. This whole world that we're in of blockchain, this whole industry that we're in of decentralized distributed ledger technology.
What's he going to say about
all
DLT?
these things, we really need to grow up as a mature industry so that everyone can use us, so that your grandmother can use us. We need to be able to make sure that having tokens and transferring tokens and spending cryptocurrency is easy and invisible and fades back into the background, and grandma can do it and not worry about losing the keys or losing all the H-bars or the tokens. They don't have to worry about someone stealing all those things. So we have standards for DREC, decentralized recovery, where grandma can have her keys stored in a way that it's not going to be stolen from her, but also in a way that she's not just going to lose it.
Okay.
And this is what we need. It needs to be so easy that anyone can do it without thinking about it. They don't have to be an expert in blockchain technology to even use this stuff. This is the world that we can be driving. And this is the world that you are building, many of you are building right now, and that we will continue to work with you to build. A world where everyone is using ledgers, even without in their daily life. And where there is never a central company in control. It is always decentralized.
Woo, this could be something, boy.
Council.
If this went right, man, this could be it.
All decentralized, all working together.
I can't even, guys. This is getting. I'm not, Dr. Lehman. I mean, seriously, man. It's like, dude. That's all I gotta say for the rest of this video. You guys, thanks for supporting this channel. Thanks for watching this video with me. Thanks for checking out my channel. this is really a huge moment, and I think that this poises Hedera, like we've been saying, Hedera is queen of the metaverse, right? Hedera could be king. Hedera could be the whole universe. The metaverse is built in, literally. So it could be anything he wants, but my gosh. We're really on the forefront of something huge, right? This is huge. All right. Dan DeFi out. Thanks for checking out the video.